I wasn't sure what to expect in the burial isle. It was a place where few go, and when they do, probably quite a few go at a time. I question it because I don't know how the Glanfathen administer their funeral rites. It could be a giant gathering or a small group of close friends and family. I have yet to see it for myself. One thing very apparent, however, was that there were quite a few dangerous threats there, and I can only hope that it was like that because Theos had recently passed through it. If not, and it is normally dangerous, then I can understand why it has the reputation that it has. Such a place should be sacred and well looked after. Heritage Hill in Defiance Bay has plenty of homes nearby the graves and tombs, and even has a set of guards outside of its entrance. It just seems strange to me that it should be left alone and avoided until necessity dictates its use in the burial isle. Alright, here it goes. If Hylea is not here to help, like she said she would be, then this will be a very short adventure down this pit. A great pit lies in the shadow of the statue of Wudica. No light from the surface reaches the bottom, but even so I catch flickers of a ghostly glow in the depths. A wind from the pit buffets me. It isn't cold, but it raises goose flesh along my arms. The wind carries a whisper low and sibilant. As I look into the pit, souls gather around me. They encase me in a cloud of essence that swirls around my body while I consider my next move. It's a leap of faith. I'll go. Everybody else, you don't have to, but it's what we're here to do. I jump into the pit. I jump, trusting in the promises of the gods and the power of the souls to bear me safely down. The sudden drop takes my breath away, but the souls catch me, encasing me in a shining, thrumming aura. But while they slow my descent, I can still feel that I am falling faster than I should. The essence flowing around me is strong but chaotic. I find myself drifting towards the wall. The wall. Keldon Zatha. Brace myself. I tuck my arms and legs into my torso and prepare myself for impact. I strike the hard surface, and pain lances through my shoulder. Fortunately, the impact knocks me back to the center of the pit, and the souls around my body adjust to keep me there. I manage to spread my arms and legs into an X, steadying my position and the rate of my descent. I start to feel more comfortable until I notice that Aloth is still falling too fast. Aloth plummets, flailing out of control. I could attempt a rescue, but the ground is approaching fast. It will take a feat of speed and agility to avoid injury. Dive for my companion. The ground is rising fast, and I'm not quite fast enough. I snatch Aloth out of freefall, but I'm unable to regain control over my own momentum in time. I take the brunt of the impact, landing hard against the millennia-old stones of the Court of the Penitents.
After what seems like an eternity, your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. Their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach. Your only way lies ahead.
That went better than I expected.
Are you
I
okay?
think I dislocated my... Yeah. That's better.
Yeah, I took a big
Everyone all right?
smack myself.
No shattered knees? Good. Just me then.
Anybody need bandaging? No one's seriously hurt. Yeah, that could have been smoother, but at least we're alive.
Sure.
And I've certainly had a lot worse. These spikes, do they really need to be here? Anybody that falls down there without the help of the gods is gonna die anyway. But there's a lot of bones. Whole skeletons. Alright, we're after Theos. That's what we came here to do, but that doesn't mean that this is going to be safe. Even though the gods have allowed us to come, that was close. No one's touched by that, I assume. Aloth? No? Okay, I'll check ahead. Sagani?
Ready, Watcher.
A millennium's worth of dust fills in the cracks and crevices of the skeletal relief. And there's more dust down here than there is in Odnua. Spectre ahead, I can see it. Let's go. Nobody sees these things. No one's getting hurt, though.
Steady does it.
Maybe I should look ahead. I'm not as good as hiding in shadows as you are, Sagani, but I can see traps pretty well. I've got an eye for it. Okay, so we had spirits, shade, left and right. Spectre's coming. Attack!
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot more coming from this way. Shadow between us. Let's go help Ader.
Yeah.
More coming.
Let's go.
Oh, there's some behind us, too.
Let's go. Right.
Spectre residue. They don't really hold much, do they? Whoa, what is that? The pillar tugs at my essence. A pulse from the world itself moves through it. Wow, I've never seen such a sight before. Pillar. Pillar that holds the souls of the world. More specters attack. Whoa, what's this? It's an animat.
What?
Can't get.
What? Mow it.
Lavaru, be on seek! Lavaru!
A little bit tougher. At least there's things besides spirit residue, though. Okay. Got a little hurt from the last few fights. I can feel these being tugged. The pull is kind of... it's not comfortable. Oh yeah, there's a hallway over there. We passed another one behind it. And there's one here. Ooh, lots of copper. Let's go as a group. This way, let's try this upper hall. To the north.
And what does...
More spirits, shades. I'll get their attention. Here they come. We gotta move.
I'm ready. Permet comme folia.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go!
That's not very helpful.
Let's go!
Not helpful at all. Use a bit of bandaging. And so could you, Aloth. Thank you.
I'm here.
Scani.
I'm ready.
So one more bandage would be nice. Bandaging over these more exposed areas.
Yeah,
Feels better, thanks.
right.
Temporary relief. Okay. See what's up this way. Pottery? Ooh, I could use that, actually. It's a potion of recovery. Brings stamina back. The pillar tugs at my essence. The pulse from the world itself moves through it. These are all pillars through the entire world? Where the souls have passed through, I suppose? Keeps going. So how big is this place? I hear movement. Another shade. Oh, that's an animat, actually. Ooh. See this trap? Let's try to undo it. I failed to disarm the trap. It's a little bit too complicated for me. Let's just move around it. This way. Watch out for the trap over there. Darn, so it's a little close. Okay, we've got animats and probably shades and all that fun stuff ahead. Here's an animat attack. That's several animats. Okay.
Lava will be on seat.
Moe Ixi Ana! Let's go!
Yeah. Artifact work.
That got him.
Artifact work.
Petrify.
Can't get a good shot with this.
That helped too.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Aye.
These animats are actually very tough. Another petrify would help.
Moe Ixi Ana!
What's that? Watch out, they're casting spells at us. Aloth, we need you to unload everything you have. Bring it down. Magic seems to affect them pretty good. Keep hitting, keep attacking.
Lava will be on seat.
Don't stop.
Can't get a good shot with this.
One of them is down.
I'm ready.
Aye. Yeah. Yes.
Two of them are down. There's 2 left.
Yeah.
Lava.
Good shot.
There's a lesson to be...
One left.
Let's go.
Not even slowing it down!
There. A little tougher. Look at all these swords and shields. Let's take it, stash it. We'll be able to sell it. Durance, you're kind of bleeding over there. We'll have to take care of you when we rest.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh. Big chest over there. What is this? I feel completely rejuvenated. Maybe we don't have to bandage it. There's no wounds underneath my bandages at all. Wow. Okay, this is a very difficult lock. Yes.
Finished.
I don't see any traps, but that doesn't mean anything. Especially where we are. This is the bottom of the world. Okay, no traps. An exceptional brigadine. Well, Aloth might be able to use that. This way.
Huh?
Tell me this isn't just going to keep leading from gigantic room to gigantic room. Here's something ahead. I think it's spirits. You'd think spirits would be quiet as the dead, but they're not. They often wail as if they're still the living. No, it's this stone. Another one. Who is this? Iovara? A column of Adra rises above me, stoic and silent, its rigid layers a measuring stick for the passing of ages. It feels to me as a thick block of ice, and I perceive buried deep in its core a dim flickering flame, all but extinguished, yet preserved against the ravages of the elements. At my approach, the flame seems to steady and draw strength, and the layers separating it from me melt away. I am bathed in its glow, a bright beacon in the gloom. The glow seems to fade, as though I had adjusted to its intensity, and where it was, Iovara seeps into existence, an idyllic shade, hovering above the moist prison floor. Though ageless, she appears somehow different to me now, a slight stoop to her carriage, perhaps, or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. There is a broad scar across her face, fibrous and wormy where flames once lapped, and unhealed even in death.
So my love returns to me at long last.
If you can call me that. It was another life.
You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
I'm here to free you.
A gallant gesture, if a bit misguided. And yet I suspect there is more to this than you have said. I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
Theos diverted them from the cycle. He seeks to empower Wudica and to blame Animancy for the damage he's caused.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
You knew me when Theos did. There's something I need to know about that time.
I will tell you what I remember.
There's something about that lifetime my soul can't let go of. I need to know what it is, and I'm running out of time. I see moments from that life, of you, of the Inquisition, of Theos.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also. It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
And what was that? Iovara's mouth tightens and her brow furrows, a look of pity. Her eyes shift back and forth between each of mine, as if looking for something that would help her decide whether to speak.
That the gods aren't real.
That... yeah. I didn't expect that answer. I'm sorry, I have no memory of that time, really, just bits and pieces. Pelagina throws her head back and laughs gleefully. Ha 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 ha! Of course not! It all makes sense now!
That can't be. We've been following them for thousands of years. If that's true, she's not serious.
Well then who spoke to me?
Perhaps not to her. Many are those whom the gods have scorned. This is petty retribution.
That doesn't seem possible.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
Who created these gods, and for what?
They were conceived by Engwyth, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Theos' people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwythans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone. It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
This is why you started your own faith?
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine.
How did you discover this?
The Engwythan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them. And in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Later on, after I left the Order, a few Engwythans found my words persuasive and joined my cause. They revealed what I did not already know. Is it true what you taught?
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself, as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
Ayavara scans her audience in silence, her eyes thoughtful, lingering on each member of my company in turn, finding interest in things unseen.
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
She looks at Ader. Wadwin.
That's not... That can't be right. Aethys, he's done miracles for people.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not. What if it were forbidden knowledge rather than fault that earned your doom? What of your guilt?
Magrin.
I have seen with my own eyes the deceptions of my goddess. The Watcher has shown me as much. But it was not until now that I understood how truly desperate she was. The depths of her deception.
You speak of her deceptions, but what of your own? Was it her words that led you down your path? Or was it the absence of her words? A gap that you filled with your own broken thoughts.
Beads of sweat coalesce on Durance's forehead and trickle down the sides of his face in streaming rivulets, as though he were a block of ice standing before a great pyre.
What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Then it's because I've managed to find my own direction. But how many can find purpose and satisfaction in the reality you offer? Would it comfort the grieving families to know that their children were hollow-born over a war of ideas? Would it quell the riots in Defiance Bay? However the gods were created, they exist now. That's what matters.
It is no offer of mine, this reality. It exists whether you accept it or not. And these things you speak of, these ills in need of a cure, ask yourself, if the gods had no influence, would these things exist at all? Or would the world be better off? What if our burdens come to us not because they are meant to be, but because they happen to be?
We fulfill them anyway, because they still matter to the people around us, even if we know better.
What if even mastery over all things cannot answer the most basic of questions?
I stopped asking those questions long ago. It is enough to care for those we love with the time we have in this life.
I feel the weight of Ayavara's translucent eyes upon my soul. What if we can be assured of nothing? That's a big question.